Hello and welcome to Sarat Chandra IAS Academy, where your dreams are our mission. This is Yatharth here. I hope you are all doing well. So welcome to our Rivers of India series. There's always a question in prelims from water bodies of India depending upon geographical issues or environmental issues or current affairs. So in this series we'll be dealing with various water bodies, whether they are from North India, South India, any part of India. And in this series we are covering the Mahanadi River today. So we'll be dealing with the mapping portion completely, any current affairs about this topic, and any PYQs that have come in the previous year. This is in view of prelims of CSE. Alright, moving forward, let's come to what and why. Like, why are we reading this? Why are we dealing with this topic at all? Rivers of India or water bodies of India? So here are some questions from last 2 years, 2022 and 2023. In 2022, you can see a factual question. Gandikota Canyon of South India was created by which of the following rivers? So Kaveri, Manjira, Pennar, Tungabhadra. You can see the nature of the question is such that two rivers are major here, or at least one river is major here, the Kaveri River. So this is the main river. However, let's say Tungabhadra. These are two rivers which make a single river. These all Pennar, whether it's Manjira, they are tributaries of other rivers. So if you don't know the specific nature or course of even the tributaries, you have no opportunity to make this question correct. So it's a factual question. The second question we see, Jhelum River passes through the Wooler Lake. Krishna River directly feeds the Kolleru Lake. Meandering of Gandak River formed Kanwar Lake. So while you may have some information about the Krishna River, the Jhelum River, or the Gandak River, if you know these, which states these rivers fall in, but if you do not have any information about the lakes they form, Wooler, Kolleru, or Kanwar Lake, then you cannot make this question correct. This is why it's very important for us to be a little detailed about the topics we are reading. So this is our attempt to understand these rivers of India. Alright, let's begin with the mapping portion, which we'll keep coming back to during the course of this lecture. So this mapping is about the Mahanadi River. Mahanadi River. Alright, so first what we need to see is which states this river does not fall in. So we can cross out Jharkhand, we can cross out the Madhya Pradesh, we can cross out Maharashtra as well as Telangana, as well as the Andhra Pradesh, but we can put some right marks on other two states which are Odisha and Chhattisgarh, in which this river directly flows. However, we must make sure that we know the difference between the course and the basin. So basin of this river is also in Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra as well as few other neighboring states. Alright, so this is one thing that we need to know, that it's basically or mainly flowing in two states. One is the Odisha and second is Chhattisgarh. And the course is such that's going to Odisha from the Chhattisgarh and finally flows out through Bay of Bengal. So it must be emerging somewhere in the Chhattisgarh itself. Alright, the tributaries will keep coming back. This is a big reservoir here, the Asia's largest artificial reservoir, which is the Hirakud Dam, and it is located on this same Mahanadi River. Mahanadi River. Alright, so we'll take care of this. It is in the Odisha. You can see here, after Odisha it is. Okay. This is Hasdev Aranya or Hasdev Forest, let's say. It's recently in the news in current affairs because of the mining issues, coal mining issues, and tribal rights. It also is in news because the flooding of the Mahanadi can occur after, let's say, mining is taking place. So let's move forward. We'll keep seeing the other things as well and keep coming back to the mapping portion. Alright. One more thing what I recommend you to do is to always, after you have seen the map, let's say, of the river, then you take an empty map and fill out the portion. So you know that this state is, let's say, Maharashtra, this is Madhya Pradesh, this is Telangana, this is Andhra Pradesh, this is other states, let's say whatever. But we need to deal with these two states here, 1 and 2 for Mahanadi. So we can make 2 points here. And any important points, let's say we need to note down Hirakud Dam, then we could note down Hirakud Dam here. And we can draft a course that this is the Mahanadi River flowing between these two states here. Alright. Okay, let's move forward. So what is the basic information about a river that we need to see? So the course of the river. Course means the states which is flows through and the basin area. The second thing that we need to know is from where it starts and where it ends. And if the river is ending in, let's say, Bay of Bengal, then we need to see at what point does the river meet the sea and from which point it starts. The other things that we can learn is that if there's any important lake, national park, reservoirs along the course of this river. Alright, so these are the basic informations we'll learn about them. Okay, let's go towards the Mahanadi Basics. So Mahanadi River system is the third largest of the peninsular India, after which two rivers, Godavari and Krishna. And it's the largest river of the Odisha state. Alright, so this is Godavari first, Krishna second, and then there's Mahanadi. The catchment area of the river extends to Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, Odisha, Jharkhand, and Maharashtra. Alright, so we need to take care that it's not going towards the Andhra Pradesh or Telangana section. It's just going towards Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, and Odisha, Jharkhand, and Maharashtra. This side. Alright, so its basin is bounded by the central Indian hills on the north, by the eastern Ghats on the south, east and by the Maikal range in the west. So please take care of this Maikal range. Alright. So we need to take a mental note that we read Mahanadi and Maikal together. Alright. You must have seen about the mountain question which came in 2023, the Amarkantak Hills, etc. So we need to see this Maikal range. Okay, so we remember this with Mahanadi towards the western side. Okay. So the central government constituted Mahanadi Water Dispute Tribunal in 2018. So we need to see which two states is having a dispute. Of course, Odisha and Chhattisgarh. Okay. So Mahanadi Basin, because of its rich mineral resources and adequate power resources, has a favorable industrial climate. So iron and steel plants are at Bhilai. Aluminium factories at Hirakud and Korba. So these are in Odisha. Paper mill near Katak. Cement factory at Sundargarh. Other industries based primarily on agriculture produce are sugar and textile mills, and mining of coal, iron and manganese are other industrial activities. So you can correlate with the industrial map of let's say India. So the Mahanadi River is a major river in east central India. It has a total length of 900 kilometers. Please remember this length also. So Mahanadi is also known for the Hirakud Dam, which was the first major multi-purpose river valley project after India's independence in 1947. This is why it's very important. The river flows through the states of Chhattisgarh 1 and Odisha 2. Alright, this way. Before finally ending in the Bay of Bengal. Now what we need to remember, the word Mahanadi is a compound of Sanskrit word Maha great and Nadi river. In different era, this river was known by several names such as ancient era, Kanakanandini. Alright, Dwapar Yuga, Chitrotpala. Similar name in the Matsya Puran. So a question can come that which river was named or known as the Kanakanandini or Chitrotpala in the ancient times. Alright, and you may have to answer Mahanadi. In the Treta Yuga it was known as Nilotpala, and Mahabharata era Mahanad, and eventually in Kali Yuga Mahanadi. Alright, so please remember these 2-3 names at least, Kanakanandini, Chitrotpala. These are the major rivers of India and you must know everything about them. Okay. Coming to the source and course part, so its farthest headwater lies. So its farthest headwaters lie 6 km from Farasia village in the Nagri Sehava. So this Sehava is often known as the starting point of Mahanadi. This Nagri is a town, Sehava, and what we know is that the rivers do not start from some certain point, such as like, okay, this point is the starting point of Mahanadi. No, this is not the way it works. What happens that various different streams from various different mountains collect and form a big course from where the river seems to be originating. Alright, and this is often hidden in dense forest, mountain, gorges, anywhere else. So this is a big area from where we can understand that yes, alright, this river starts from here. So this is Sehava for the Mahanadi. So please remember these two things, Sehava, Mahanadi and Maikal range in the west. So this is about 11 kilometers in Dhamtari district of Chhattisgarh. The hills here are an extension of the eastern Ghats and are a source of many other streams which then go to join the Mahanadi. For the first 100 kilometers, Mahanadi flows in a northerly direction. Alright, so it's not flowing directly toward the east, it's first going towards the north and then eventually going towards the east and south. And drains the Raipur district. So Raipur is the capital of Chhattisgarh and touches eastern portion of Raipur city. Now from here, after the Raipur city in the Chhattisgarh, there's another tributary which joins it, Shivanath. The river flows in an easterly direction through the remaining part of its journey. And it is joined by the Jonk and Hasdeo rivers here before entering into Odisha. So which three tributaries have joined the Mahanadi before entering Odisha? So Jonk, Hasdev and Shivanath. Alright, you can remember them in any fashion or manner you like. JHS, SSJ, whatever. So near the city of Sambalpur, it is dammed by the longest earthen dam in the world. Which dam? Hirakud Dam. And it's located in the Odisha. A composite structure of the earth, concrete and masonry. The dam measures 26 kilometers including the dikes. It spans two hills. Now this is again important. The Lamdungri and the Chandli Dungri on the right. It also forms the biggest artificial lake in Asia. But we must remember the second and third. Second is Lake Poyang in China and third is the Bratsk Reservoir in Russia. Alright, so Hirakud is the largest artificial lake in Asia. Alright, so presently only 169 square kilometer basin area of Hasdev River in Annupur district lies in Madhya Pradesh. So this is what we can see, that the basin area of Mahanadi is lying in Madhya Pradesh also. So after Hirakud, it is joined by the Ib, Ong, Tel and other minor streams. So now you can remember that in the Odisha, which tributaries join it? Ib, Ong, Tel. These look like little tribal names. So you can remember it like a tribal population is high in Odisha. So that's why you can remember it like this, Ib, Ong, Tel. Alright, or you can just remember it as one single word. Ib, Ong, Tel. Alright. So we remember SHJ before the Jok and Hasdev, alright, and one more river which is the Shivnath. So these join the Mahanadi before it enters Odisha, and after entering Odisha it is Ebong Tel. Okay, the rapid ends here and the river rolls towards the eastern Ghats now, forcing its way through them via the 64 kilometer long Satkosia Gorge. So Satkosia Gorge is very important here. So Satkosia, you can remember it as let's say 7 and Kos. Alright, Kos is a measure of distance in the Indian system. So in various systems, a Kos is around 3 or 4 kilometers. So the gorge should be around 28 kilometers. However, it's 64 kilometers actually. But you can just remember the Satkosia Gorge. Alright, let's move forward. So the river enters into Odisha plains at Naraj, about 14 kilometers from the Cuttack. Now let's come to the lower course. So just before entering Cuttack, it gives off a large distributary called the Kathjodi. Alright, please remember this Kathjodi. The city of Cuttack stands on the spit separating the two channels of the Kathjodi. So the Kathjodi then throws off many streams like the Kuakhai, Devi and Surua, which fall into the Bay of Bengal after entering Puri district. So what we know that, let's say this is the Mahanadi River. So there are many tributaries which tribute their water into the Mahanadi. There are many distributaries. Alright, they like Kathjodi. So please do not confuse between tributaries and distributaries. So six most important tributaries we already know, which are SHJ, Hasdev, Jong, Sehdev and Ib, Ong and Tel. Alright, so these are 6 important tributaries of the Mahanadi. Then there is tributary named Kathjodi. Alright. So, and then there are other distributaries from this Kathjodi such as Kuakhai, Devi and Surua, which fall into Bay of Bengal after entering the Puri district. Puri is very famous place. Alright. The Kathjodi itself falls into the sea at the Jodhar. Other distributaries of Mahanadi include the Peka, Birupa, Chitropla and Genguti and Lun. The Birupa then goes on to join the Brahmani River. So, is Mahanadi and Brahmani connected? So answer is yes. Alright, we also talked about the Utkal Plains. So in Utkal Plains only this all is located, and in same Utkal Plains Chilka is located. Chilka Reservoir, Chilka Lake, whatever you call it, is also located. The Bhitarkantika Sanctuary is located here. Alright. So all these you can map on the map here near Odisha. Alright. So the Birupa then goes to join the Brahmani River at Krishnanagar and enters the Bay of Bengal at Dhamatra. The Mahanadi proper enters the sea via several channels near Paradip at Jagat Singhpur. Alright. So Paradip is the end point for Mahanadi. So it's flowing from Sehava to Paradip. Sehava to Paradip. Alright. So what is the environmental factor here? Freshwater crocodiles, gangas and bull sharks frequent Mahanadi. This river deposits more silt than any other river in the Indian subcontinent. Very important fact. Alright, must note down it. The river itself has been referred to as Manada in Ptolemy's work. So which river has been let's say referred as Manada in Ptolemy's work? So it is Mahanadi. So please remember all these things. This can come as statements and be asked that how many statements of these are correct. Okay, owing to its seasonal nature, the river is mostly a narrow channel flanked by wide sandbanks for most of the year. The Mahanadi was also notorious for devastating floods for much of the recorded history. It's known as the sorrow of Odisha. So however, after Hirakud dam building, this all things are in control. Alright, moving forward. So what are the current affairs here? Narmada and Mahanadi most prone to widespread flooding. So this can come in disaster management. Alright, and in recently Chennai also we saw such things. Chennai and Tamil Nadu, urban flooding. Okay, due to the cyclone Maichung. Researchers discovered new freshwater fish. So what is the name of this fish in the Mahanadi? This is November 1, 2023. Alright, very latest current affair. So Abaus Motla. Abaus Motla. Question can be asked that Abaus Motla has been discovered recently in which river of Indian subcontinent? So the answer will be Mahanadi. One thing is mathematically quantifying water needs of Odisha, Chhattisgarh and Mahanadi River water dispute. So let's see what is this dispute between Odisha and Chhattisgarh regarding to Mahanadi. Between Chhattisgarh and Odisha. Alright, let's see this very quickly. So Chhattisgarh, after carving out of Madhya Pradesh, planned large-scale utilization of water by constructing large number of major, medium and minor irrigation projects, including Anigata and industrial barrages. Both states do not have an interstate water sharing treaty. The problem is now getting bigger. And Odisha gradually observed that there was marked fall in the flow of Mahanadi into Odisha's territory. Chhattisgarh claimed that 52.9% of total catchment of Mahanadi and 89.9% of the catchment up to Hirakud lies in the state, and they had a right to use the water of Mahanadi, which is also correct. Odisha filed his suit at Supreme Court and there is some dispute which is going on. No need to know a lot about it. Let's see the constitutionality of this thing. Alright. So main constitutional authority for resolving interstate water disputes lies in Article 262. Alright, please remember this Article 262. It empowers Parliament to enact laws for the adjudication of any dispute or complaint regarding the use, distribution or control of water of interstate rivers or river valleys. Alright. Key points: parliamentary actions. Parliament can pass specific laws to address individual disputes or establish a broader framework for dispute resolution. Tribunals can be established under this Interstate Water Dispute Act 1956. These disputes can cover aspects like water sharing, usage, priorities, dam construction among Indian states in interstate river. One more thing is that these decisions are binding. Even Supreme Court cannot directly overturn any tribunal's decision. Article 262 specifically mentions that Parliament may by law provide that neither the Supreme Court nor any other court shall exercise jurisdiction in respect to any such dispute or complaint as is referred to clause 1. So please remember Article 262 and please remember the fact that even Supreme Court cannot overturn this decision from the tribunal. Alright, so this is about the Mahanadi River. Let's just quickly check back the mapping once. Just a second. Just a second. Alright. So what we saw, that Mahanadi emerges from Sehava here. Let's say, just a second. Let me change the pen. Okay, so Sehava here. Then it goes forward, goes toward the north first. Nagari Sehava goes to the north first. Then it's joined by the Seonath, Hasdev and Jonk. Then these three rivers. Mand is also there. Alright, after entering Odisha, then there is a Hirakud Dam. There is a Raipur here. Then after entering Odisha, it is joined by the Ib, Ong and Tel. This is Tel here. Alright, and Indra, these are the tributaries. Then furthering on to Mahanadi side, this side, there's a gorge also. When it goes towards the eastern ghat, what is the name of the gorge? Satkosia Gorge. Alright, like this, Satkosia Gorge here. Okay, and then finally, this has many distributaries. Finally entering into Bay of Bengal here from Paradeep. So this is enough information about Mahanadi. I'll be providing all these notes to you in the Telegram channel. So stay connected with me. Thank you for being here. Have a good day.